to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God!
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
నైతిక ధార్మిక ఆధ్యాత్మికముల యొక్క మూడింటి సమ్మిళితమైన స్వరూపమే మానవుడు.
Man is the combination of these 3: morality, righteousness, and spirituality.
సత్యముండి ధర్మం లేకుండినా మానవుడు కాదు.
With truth and righteousness missing, he is no human.
ధర్మముండి సత్యము లేకుండినా మానవుడు కాదు.
With righteousness and the truth being absent, he is no man.
నైతిక ధార్మిక ఆధ్యాత్మికం మూడింటి యొక్క స్వరూపమే మానవుడు.
So man represents the Trinity, the combination of the 3: morality, righteousness, and spirituality.
Man, listen. You heard him. You heard his English translator. Sai Baba be cooking. Yeah. You heard the English translator? If the pastor doesn't contain those things, right? And would that mean that he's subject to giving you bad relationship advice? Narcissistic relationship advice? Spiritually narcissistic relationship advice? Listen, you want to vet out the man you dating. You got your location on. Your location is shared with all your friends, so they know where you at when you on a date. But you won't share your location when you at church. Ooh, you might be in more danger there. I know you don't want me to say it that way. How can Christianese vernacular mask, distort, or sanitize human emotion. When I say sanitize, I mean make it cleaner or easier to digest to people. God hates divorce. So stay no matter what? Is that the answer? This is often weaponized without context. Yes, Malachi 2:16 says God hates divorce, but the verse is about injustice and unfaithfulness, not a blanket command or license to endure abuse or dysfunction. God also hates oppression and suffering. What if the relationship advice, right, deepens the oppression and suffering one is enduring? Submission means letting your spouse lead, even if it's hurting you. Ephesians 5 is often misinterpreted. It begins with submit to one another. Biblical leadership does not mean control or silence. True love never requires self-abandonment. Do you feel like you're abandoning yourself in order to keep a thing going that's only got one wheel when it's supposed to have four? Do you remember hearing Republican politicians talking about how their wife is required to vote, how they tell them to vote under their Christian leadership? Are you speaking Christianese? Examining sanctified speech as a conditional love language. How does sanctified speech function as a conditional love language that both empowers and confines personal discernment? In what ways do ritualized spiritual expressions validate and or suppress in our innate capacity to question authority? Divine, interpersonal, or institutional? How does the deliberate use of Christian vernacular to frame emotions shape a sanitized narrative that disconnects people from authentic suffering? Where does God-given discernment align or conflict with relational expectations that demand spiritual conformity? Where there is an attachment, there will be an expectation. Expectation is just a fancy word for lack. When you ascend to the consciousness level that is called unconditional love, lack doesn't exist. See, it's set up for you to ask because you're in your little g season. The scripture says, ask and ye shall receive. Knock and the door will be open. Seek, right? It's ask, seek, knock, right? ASK. When you are asking, you are not in your divine godhood. Oh yes, Jesus told you about your divine godhood when the people tried to stone him in the book of John. Hey, why are you trying to stone me? Many great works I have done. Why would you want to stone me? Because you say you are God. Jesus had to remind them of their own book. Isn't it written in your book that I have said ye are gods? And if the word came from God, then how can the word be broken? See, individuation gets you closer to self-realization. Self-realization, self-actualization. The ancients called it by many different names: nirvana, moksha, enlightenment, whatever term you want to use. That will raise you to a level where you understand, wow, my ego is tiny and basically insignificant. When you are broken, you are needy. When you are needy, you are expectant. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but I got to tell you the truth tonight. When people equate sanctity with worth, what emotional or psychological costs emerge regarding vulnerability and autonomy? Man, I got people on the line. People want to talk. Let's get them in here. Attila, Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Tio.
What up?
Tell nothing. I was thinking about one of the questions that you just asked. I think you were asking, like, why, what was it? Why people would rely on conditional love languages for, like, their emotional verbiage, whatever.
Whatever.
I can't remember. I couldn't remember what you said. But anyway, it kind of made me think of three different things, right? Why you would rely on that? Well, number one, because you can explore gray areas without having to learn and to, like, basically appreciate yourself and appreciate self-love because you're masking as a secure person. And then number two, I was saying that this way they don't have to build capacity either. I think we talked about that earlier with Dr. Raquel Robinson. Again, you know, I don't have to worry about building capacity or the ability to handle certain things if I'm masking as secure. But I think that was it. So, yeah.
Masking secure is crazy work. And a lot of us do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think of it like, what did we talk about recently? We were talking about going to work and you're, like, kind of code switching. You could think of it as, like, I don't know, like emotional, spiritual code switching, like within the context of a relationship.
That's heavy work. That's crazy. Emotional code switching. How would that work? What does that look like? Talk to me.
Well, again, like I said, if I'm masking as secure, or I've given off the idea that maybe I don't have any issues, especially if you think about, like, the narcissistic codependent dynamic in those first, you know, few months or whatever the case, like, I believe narcissistic people are able to basically shroud themselves as someone who is healthy or emotionally available or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't last very long, right? So I feel like the code switching works in the same way. Like, people basically will be able to mask themselves as something that they're not, but you can only do that for so long, right? Which is why a lot of these relationships end horribly.
Oh, I love my niece, man. She be in there cooking, boy. Cooking with the rarest grease. Come on, give me some more jewels. I love the jewelry. Give me some more.
I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of... I did write an agree or disagree question.
What is it?
And you tell me what you think. Sanctified speech is seen as evidence of growth for religiously unhealed people.
True or false?
Agree or disagree, true or false? Yeah.
Wow. That's heavy. Say it again. I want them to hear it one more time.
I'll say it one more time. So sanctified speech is seen as evidence of growth for the religiously unhealed.
Listen, just because you talk sanctified doesn't mean you internally walk sanctified. Do you see?
You can make people shout, though. Like, that's seen as a certain level of anointing, right?
That's a
the
performance.
Anointing is the evidence. Yeah. But Christ also said that your gifts come without repentance. So I could still be messing up and still have the gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just say all that to say I think that's why a lot of us get played in the church. And our relationships mirror that. In the same way that you can judge someone for supporting a pastor that you find despicable, that's exactly what people do in their relationships. You stay at the church, you stay in the relationship.
And Attila, just like you said, I'm staying on point, is in alignment with you. Her comment in the chat, she said, spitting the scriptures can be considered as an anointing.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
But again,
so can prophecy. There's so many different prophecies. A big one. Oh my God. Sorry, go ahead.
But again, spiritual performance. It's starting to look a lot like what the narcissist does with cognitive empathy. I can perform spirit.
I would say it's very similar to that. Yeah.
Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is hurt people live in every religious belief system. And they seek to use the high-minded spiritual language to do what? Do they weaponize it to do what? To manipulate, to extrapolate something from people, whether it's money, attention, praise, adoration, validation. Is this not a problem? I wasn't being rhetorical, niece. I'm talking with you like we on the phone.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Okay, I'm just listening. Like, yeah, I mean, no, I mean, it's definitely a problem. Like, I mean, this is the thing. Like, if you're supposed to be leading a flock, so to speak, right? Like, how are you leading a flock if you're also consumed by, how would I say, like, if I'm supposed to be anointed and I'm supposed to have a certain knowing or knowledge higher than other people, how am I still in their types of messes? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, if you're portraying yourself as you're supposed to be somehow spiritually attuned, I guess you could say, with God more so than anybody else, that's how it's portrayed.
You mean
then
like
why are you in human messes? Like, what's up with that?
You mean like the married pastor that used to try to hit on my mom and always make house calls?
You hear what I'm saying?
Are you talking about him?
Yeah. How are you in human messes? How are you in very human messes as an anointed? It's no disrespect, because I mean, I get it. Like, people, you can be gifted and imperfect. Completely understand. But I think some of the stuff we're seeing, I don't know.
Man, let me just say this, niece.
Anyway.
I love the fact that you came in here with a flamethrower, ready to lay them down with that heat. Guess what you just did, ma'am?
Yeah. Right, Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is on the board. Do you want to get your city on the board? All you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We on fire tonight. Let's keep it cooking.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's EQUAL to 321-321.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. and he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she try and bless me like I said I chew, like a sneeze. Please for them trick and squeeze, I'm getting cream. Never let them get in between of what we started. Look, but I'm lying hearted. They love me when I was stuck and they hated when I departed. I go and get it regardless. Draw it like I'm an artist, no crawling. Went straight to walking with foreigns in my garages are foreign. Menaging, sucking and swallowing anything for $1. They tell me get him, I got him. I did it without an album. I did it with Mariah. Lil' I'm on fire. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly flyer. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was lease. Then I bought that new Ferrari, hey, to rest in peace. Hey, to rest in peace to the parking lot. Phantom so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking about my then what you talking about? Gangsters move in silence, and I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word. Was on my grind, and now I got what I deserve. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought the ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was rented. Flexing on these, I'm like Popeye on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my team. Rose, the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the type of can the men casting grind like
renunciation should be a matter of internal growth. The Buddha called us ordinary people the childish. And the whole path was about maturing, about growing up. Because, you know, if you have small children, I mean, all of those who are parents, they know. If a child gets what it wants, it's happy, happy, happy. And if it is in any way thwarted or frustrated, then it is enraged, so upset, so absolutely showering of tears. But we know this is just a child. Children are like that. They cannot manage their emotions. It's natural for a child to be happy when something goes right and be totally distressed when something goes wrong. Fine. But the problem is that meantime, we grow up, we get older, outwardly, we mature and then age, but inside, we are still infants. Something happens which pleases us, happy, happy, happy. Something goes wrong, inside, but outside, of course, you have to be calm. So the point is that we have to really look at our minds to see not only how we are in a beautiful environment when everyone is friendly and kind and everything goes how we would wish it to go, but how we respond in difficult situations also. We'll do this later in the text.
Man, is that Tenzin? I love her work, man. Tenzin is on fire. Clearly, she's a Buddhist. And if you know anything about Zoe Williams and the Voice of Reason, you understand I'm pulling from all religions. I love them all. I support them all. I believe in them all. I believe in the ultimate truth contained within them all. But she talked about spiritual adults. And oftentimes we will elevate a person because of their status in society. Oh, well, this is the pastor. But that doesn't mean that that pastor is individuated. To me, I have to quote Krishnamurti here. Krishnamurti said, a man who hasn't reconciled himself should not be standing in front of children teaching. He was talking about teachers. The book that he has, that he said that in, is called Education and the Significance of Life. And he was saying, if you have a teacher in front of students, well, you can see the roots of attachment theory in that. Many people will, start in the 50s with John Bowlby, but attachment theory goes back to the Buddha. Right? Buddha believed that attachment is the root of suffering. He said beings are caught in the strands of desire and attachment. Desire is expectation. Desire is lack. Expectation is lack. He said they are caught like spiders in their own web. The wise cut through these bonds and slip out of their suffering without a backward look. What I'm trying to tell you is non-attachment is equivalent to unconditional love. Many of you are attached. Attachment leads to suffering. Now, because you're attached, mainly insecurely attached, you are a manipulator. Let's just own it. So if you're going to get advice from someone, they should be individuated to some degree. They should be outside, or at least have some internal victories. You guys hear me talk about internal victories. At least they had to have gone to war with themselves to conquer dark aspects of their own character. Attachment is the source of all suffering. One should discard attachment to be happy. Attachment is another name of disappointment and pain. To be free from suffering, free yourself from attachments. Nothing ever belonged to you. Attachment leads to jealousy. This is all the teaching of the Buddha. Non-attachment is equivalent to unconditional love. I don't own you. This is why Krishnamurti said, I love you, but I don't want a thing. Do you see? This is why we have a misconception of what love actually is. This is why we can go to another wounded person and think that they have the key, right, or the answer to a problem that emanates from within us. In other words, we are the question and the answer, but we go to external sources. When I come forward, the voice of reason shall continue cooking.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a $55 billion balanced budget for the 7th year in a row. It includes $40 million for a sports complex at Proviso West High, backed by Black House Speaker Chris Welch.
If helping Proviso in the region that I grew up in is going to cost me an election, I'm willing to do that.
Republicans call it favoritism. The plan also raises taxes on tobacco, vaping, and online betting. A bust of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has quietly been removed from the Oval Office with no official explanation. The move is part of a broader rollback of civil rights and diversity symbols across federal agencies, such as renaming ships that once honored civil rights and LGBTQ figures. And Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill won't race Olympic champ Noah Lyles this weekend as planned in New York City. Lyles canceled for personal reasons. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again. Holla, holla.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. That's 800-433-8909. Or simply visit godra.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's just a public service announcement sponsored by Just Blaze and the good folks at Rockefeller Records.
Fellow Americans, it is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes by the up. I guess even back then you can call me CEO of the ROC. Ho, fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I be the music biz #1 supplier. Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name. Got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain. That's right, Ho, not DOC, but similar to them letters. No one could do it better. I check cheddar like a food inspector. My homie Strick told me, dude, finish your breakfast. So that's what I'ma do, take you back to the dude with the Lexus. Fast forward the jewels and the necklace. Let me tell you dudes what I do to protect us. Shoot at you actors like movie directors. This ain't a movie, dog.
Now, before I finish, let me just say, I did not come here to show out.
That's called love. If I do something for you and I expect it back, that's called a transaction.
Come on.
That's business.
Come on.
That's a contract.
Come on.
I don't want to have a contract with someone I love. So why would I be measuring them based on how they do the exact same thing back for me?
The Voice of Reason live on KBLA Talk 1580. You already know what it is. I'm out here wilding with this topic tonight. My niece, man, she be in the kitchen cooking. What's that Migos record? Stir fry? Whipping like a stir fry. Well, I can't do Migos. But before I get back, because we got callers on the line, before I get back to the topic, I just want to remind everybody that our KBLA Talk 1580 4th anniversary events are fast approaching. Okay, and seating at all 4 of our special events is getting tight. Have you registered at our KBLA1580.com website? If not, let me encourage you to stop whatever it is that you're doing and do that right now so you don't get left out. It's really that simple. I don't want you to get left out, okay? It's our 4th anniversary, and we want to celebrate it with you. If you're planning to join us for our 4th anniversary celebration and barbecue on the Juneteenth holiday, we're asking everyone to bring a food gift card of any amount for the victims of the Altadena fire. Grocery store chain or restaurant, doesn't matter. We're grateful for whatever you can bring to help the families still displaced by the wildfires. So go to our KBLA1580.com website right now and sign up for the events that you plan to attend. All of our anniversary events are completely free. but seating at all of them is limited, and you must register. All right? I appreciate everybody for listening to that public service announcement. Now, back to the topic. It's a heavy topic. We live in a society that has misinterpreted love. Love at its highest form is synonymous with God. I always say that. Love and God are synonymous. Love is not something you can manipulate. The human mind is set up for manipulation. Why? Because it's a pattern-making machine. And where you understand patterns, when you are able to understand patterns, you see opportunity. For many of us, our relationships are opportunities. Oh, I know you don't want to hear it put that way. Love don't want nothing. Love doesn't need nothing. Love doesn't have expectations. Oh, hold on. I know you didn't hear me say, yes, I said it. Love doesn't have an expectation. Love doesn't have an expiration date. Your wounds have all of that. And you keep your wounds alive by giving them supply in the form of relationships that are handpicked by your wounds to sustain their existence. This is why in the spiritual realm, when you're dealing with the metaphysical beliefs, systems, what do they say? Oh, ego death, ego annihilation. Get outside the little g and come into the reality of the big G. The highest form of love, everybody agrees, is unconditional. Well, let's look at this. There's a term I want you guys to align with your understanding of God. There's a word. The word is ineffable. I-N-E-F-F-A-B-L-E. Ineffable. Whenever you think of God, think ineffable. Say it with me. Ineffable. Or do it like, what was that show? Was it Sesame Street? No, it wasn't Sesame Street. It was the Electric Company. Right? Ineffable. 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 Do you know what the definition of that is? Too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. That's God. God is synonymous with love. The highest form of love is unconditional. Many people have never experienced unconditional love. Why? Because they live in an attachment style. Do you understand? And I would argue that the majority of people are in insecure attachment styles. And as you've heard on this show, insecure attachment styles develop ways to manipulate people to give them what they didn't get in childhood. How does that align with the topic? That could be your pastor. And then you have to deal with the traditional lens of it. Has the church been teaching you to suffer in a dysfunctional situation? I keep telling you, the suffrage is internal. It deals with your origin. You shouldn't have to stay, on an unlimited time frame in a toxic relationship. Once the toxicity is mirrored back to you and it is triggered in your subconscious and you go, wow, I'm triggered this way. Now let me go do the work so I don't attract this mirror again. If words cannot fully capture the divine, does sanctified speech reduce the mysticism of God to the mechanical or the transactional? That's what your wounds, that's why expectations are needed by your wounds. If they can fill the expectations, if they can meet my needs. How much of religious language arises from direct experience rather than social conditioning? Can spiritual vocabulary create the illusion of transformation while egoic patterns remain unchanged. Where there is a pattern, there will be attachment. Does speaking in tongues represent a mystical gift or a metaphor for confusion between revelation and repetition? I'm asking. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. We're ready to cook.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey, it's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Are you tired of stains stealing your shine? California Cleaners is where you go to rescue your wardrobe. They don't just clean, they elevate. Hand washing, crisp laundry, and precise alterations, all while keeping your wallet happy. Listen, all you gotta do is connect with them in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Whether it's grass-stained jeans, silk that's seen better days, or a hemline emergency before date night, you're on deck with California Cleaners, located at 1326 North La Brea Avenue, Inglewood, California.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Nobody pray for me. It been a day for me. Yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances, finessing on them with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta...
Unless somebody's love language is the same as mine, why am I trying to love you the way I want to be loved? I can tell you how I want to be loved, and you can follow those directions. I need to figure out, like we just talked about, how you like to be loved, because it's probably different. And I'm full of myself if I think I already know how you want to be loved.
I feel like I'm in therapy right now because
The way I give love is not the way I expect to receive it, and that is something I need to think about later on after this.
What?
No, I don't give love the way I want it. No, I don't. That's really
So how do you
fucked up.
give love?
I give love the way I want you to have it.
How do you know that though? How do you know how they want to have it?
I give love how I want you to have it, not how you want to have it.
Oh.
That's the therapy session
Okay.
right now, because
Oh, we can't listen to her no more. My goodness. I'm triggered. The voice of reason, man. Oh, my goodness. Live from KBLA. You already know what it is. From the heart of Leimert Park, little Africa town. I got that phrasing from the legendary Dominique DePrima. I love the way she says that. Yeah, she says that. From the heart of Africa town. I love it. Man, we got callers on the line. Let's get them on right now. JWSC. South Central Los Angeles. You already know what it is. J-Dub, we up against the clock, brother, so I need you to keep it short and sweet. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah, man. I was busy multitasking, but something triggered me when you were speaking to your needs, and it kind of confused me because I believe the conversation was based on a minister that's supposed to achieve a particular level of spirituality. I forgot the term you guys used, but then I believe she said something about why is he still having issues with like common things that I guess his flock will be having, and he's supposed to be at a higher level. And it made me think about something I seen on the History Channel the other day. It was talking about Samson. And at that point in time, I didn't realize Samson was one of the judges in the book of Judges, you know. And what made Samson unique, of course, everybody knows the story about his long hair, and that was his strength. I didn't tie this into everything about the minister. The point is, it seems contrary to some points that you make about accepting people as they are, because Samson, even though he was a judge, which you have to, I guess, have a special qualification to be a judge in general, but he was even more special than all the other judges because God gave him that strength. But don't cut your hair, but Delilah deceived him, which equates to his ability to have human frailness, another word I was looking for. But anyway, a weakness. And so why can't a pastor, even if he is anointed or he achieves a higher level or all the above, and I'm not saying he's not the type that's manipulating. He's not the manipulating type. How can he be able to be held accountable when he's just a common human being? He's able to fall short just like anybody else.
Right.
You follow my point?
No, I got you. And I got to push forward now because we're up against it. But I appreciate you, J-Dub. And you already know you got a seat at the table, man. You brought South Central Los Angeles in the building. We got Nikki from the SIP, Nikki from Mississippi. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, lady? Lady Deaconess?
Brother Zoe and the fam, just remember when we go to God's house, whichever one you serve, including the ministers, they're seeking something. We are seeking something as parishioners. If we are not clear on what we are seeking, then that makes us more susceptible to the development of Christianese. Because as the person in the pulpit, what's supposed to happen when they get in that place, that anointing that they have between them and God is supposed to be what operates. Right. But if they're not clear about what they're seeking, then it may not be that. So when it comes to the people in the pew, if you're not clear about what you're seeking, then you won't recognize what you're looking at.
Wow.
And then we get to Christianese. So food for thought.
Come on, Nikki.
Make sure that you understand what you're seeking when you go to the place with you and your God.
That's clear. Nikki, guess what you just
Be
did?
sure. I'm just saying, I love you. I brought the SIP in the building.
We love Nikki from the SIP. I wish you'd have called in earlier because I know she's got more, but we love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you for the wisdom. She always gives us food for thought. Listen, I'm going to say this. I start the conversations. It's really up to you to finish them, all right? These are conversations where dialogue is encouraged, and that's why I open up the space for anybody to say what they need to say. But again, we can't engage in these conversations from a judgmental, rigid space, right? Tonight's topic, we tried to talk about Christianese as a way to spiritually bypass the actual work. In many contemporary Christian spaces, particularly within evangelical and charismatic subcultures, relationship counseling has become less about healing and more about harmonizing one's dysfunction with Scripture. Rather than addressing psychological complexity or systemic trauma, many spiritual advisors offer doctrinal answers to existential wounds, confusing moral certainty with therapeutic efficacy. Under the banner of biblical guidance, we find a troubling trend. The outsourcing of relational, emotional, and even neurological crisis to an outdated theology of compliance. Nowhere does this distortion manifest more accurately than in what might be termed as spiritualized codependency, where sanctified speech reinforces dysfunctional patterns by cloaking them in divine approval. This occurs when couples are told that prayer heals all wounds, submission softens the man, or God restores marriages if you just stay faithful. On the surface, such statements may sound virtuous. Beneath them lies a dangerous assumption that relational problems stem from spiritual deficiency rather than unprocessed trauma, unmet childhood needs, or incompatible psychological wiring. This is not just a matter of theological disagreement. It is a clinical failure. All right? So listen, again, I start the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm the voice of reason. Guess who's going to be back here tomorrow with another barn burner of a topic? You guessed right. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. And don't forget, go to our website, KBLA1580.com. Go there right now and register for our events. The seats are limited, but you got to go to the website and register. Yes, all four events over the weekend are free, but the seats are limited. Go there now. I'm the VOR. I'll see y'all tomorrow with another slapper.
Out me, dog. I'm throwed off slightly, bro. Don't wanna fight me, bro. I'm fast as lightning, bro. You better use your Nikes, bro. You know you don't like me, cuz your people's like he does. She see me on the dubs in front of every club. I be on the buzz, gave every hug. Don't show me mugs.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.